Coach, maybe it's just, it's a small sample size, it's only 2 people, but based off what Dante did last year and what Chris has done so far this year, is it almost like a 2-year process or a 1-year indoctrination process to kind of get comfortable in this offense for a wideout?
Yeah, I don't think that you try to aim for 2 years. I think anytime you get guys here, I think the goal is try to push them and get them to have an immediate impact. But in reality, it doesn't always work out that way. And I think what guys got to make sure they do is, they all come in with goals. I think as long as they set, daily habits, as long as those guys stay steadfast, I think ultimately they will find success, and it's shown in the things that we do. I also think that it's a testament to the way we're developing guys here. It'd be easy to say if, guys come in, transfer portal or high school, and they're making plays right away. It'd be easy to say, they were already ready. But you guys can see the maturation, literally. You see it physically through the years and how guys get comfortable and how they start playing fast. And it's a beautiful process. So you don't aim for a 2-year process. You want to get them in as fast as they can, but I think ultimately you just got to push them, and whenever it clicks for them, I think it just happens naturally.
Kelsey, again on Chris, he talked in the spring about leaving some plays out there last season. He obviously makes the 2 big plays in Saturday's game. Are those plays that he makes more just being confident like you talked about last week, or is it more some of the technique, how he's tracking the football, and be able to keep his focus and balance to make those 2 plays with the defenders on him?
Good question. I think it's a combination of both. He and I sat down extensively, multiple times this offseason, watching his targets, all of his targets. We watched his deep ball targets. We watched the ones he made. We watched the drops. We went back and watched other guys. Him and Dante's got a like skill set. They got a like build. We watched guys like Nico Collins in the NFL. But I think having those meetings allow those guys to see it visually. I think they retain that a lot better, and they go train it after. And I think in the situation, it just makes them more comfortable and confident. I think always when you come in those situations, it comes down to how confident are you in your ability to make the plays. And he was able to do that. And he's been doing that. We've seen it in camp, when he got back. So it's not new for us. We just got to keep him consistent and keep him confident. And I think he'll continue to make plays.
Kelsey, when you're recruiting players, you're preaching vision, you're showing them tape, but for them a lot of them to be in attendance Saturday night and see the receivers play the way they played, how big of a, billboard was that for, what you were telling them?
Yeah, it's awesome. I think it just helps the buy-in. Those guys see it, they see the results. They've heard what you said already, right? That's gotten them to this point. That gets them to the game. And I think once they see those results, they're bought in. We had a couple conversations this weekend already with some guys that we're in a really good spot with, that I think this game is going to help us get over the hump down the road. So I think as much as you can show those guys, that the things that you're telling them and you're preaching, that it's real, it helps them buy in. And that's the name of recruiting.
Going into last game, so much was made about the physicality of Georgia's defense and how your guys would handle some of that press man coverage. How pleased were you at your guys handling that aspect, and at even times, fighting through some defensive PI to still make a play?
Yeah, I wouldn't say pleased. I think we expected it. We got a really good DB group in our facility that we practice against every day. And so coming out of fall camp and spring ball, we know that DB group gets us ready for the physicality in this league. So surprised, I wouldn't say. I think those guys knew they were ready, and they were just ready to go display it to the rest of the world. Now, the tough thing in that is, in this league, every team has got really good corners. Every team's got a really good defense. We got to continue to take care of our bodies, stay healthy, and continue to win those matchups.
Back here, Coach. The kind of ball that Joey throws, how conducive is that to your guys going out and making plays, making catches?
That's a very underrated point. Catching deep balls, a lot of times it ain't about arm strength. You just got to give guys a chance. When balls are perfect, we'll take those obviously. But 60% of the time, 50% of the time, the receiver's going to have to go make a play. And I think Joey does a really good job of just giving our guys a chance. It's a catchable ball, right? He's putting air up under it. So even if you're not running in stride, I can go up and attack it. Because a lot of times in man coverage, the DB's eyes are on us. He can't play it. So he does a really good job of giving those guys a shot to go play it. And I think that makes a whole heck of a lot of a difference at wideout, that you have confidence that I'm going to have a shot to go make this play regardless of what the look is at the end of it.
Kelsey, all three of the starters have caught deep balls. They've caught underneath stuff. I mean, is the versatility of this group different in terms of you don't have anybody pigeonholed to one type of player, one position, or one route? And how much more creativity can you have on offense when those guys can do anything in your playbook?
Yeah, I think that's twofold. You know, last season we left the playoffs, and as an offensive staff, man, we felt like we got to evolve. We got to go seek and learn and get some different things. And we had to take accountability and look in the mirror as coaches. And I think we did that with the things that we're showing on offense. It's completely foreign to what Tennessee offenses look like here so far. And I think the other part of that is I think the players, they wanted that. They wanted some more concepts, route patterns, route depths, like whatever. But I think they got to take accountability and be able to master that and handle the workload and the capacity. And I think those two things have married, and now we're in a really good spot. Like the creativity, you can go get to anything. You can move guys in different spots. Braylon Staley's playing outside. Mike's playing slot. Chris is playing slot. I think that just helps you as an offense not only be cohesive, but you're multiple, and it's hard for defenses to like pick one spot or guard one concept or guard one guy. It just helps us stay multiple.
Last question, Adam. About Chris specifically, last season, I'm sure you had to sort of keep his confidence up during the season when he wasn't getting the targets and catches. What was that like with Chris week to week? Like, were you talking to him on a Sunday after a game? Was it film session during the week?
Every day. Every day. Wideouts, like they're receivers. If you let them get too far drawn away from the roll, like you got to steer them back. That's just the nature of this position. I played it, and I tell them that all the time. I was the exact same way. Like, coach would get steered off the road, and my coaches would have to bring me back. So it's literally an everyday thing. And I think what happens with coaching this position a lot of times is it's strenuous and it's exhausting. And a lot of coaches they fall to the war of attrition. But I think the coaches that really care about this position, that study it, that are really passionate about the receiver position, I think that passion fuels them to stay on their guys every single day and not let up. And I think ultimately those guys, the coaches and those groups, are able to separate themselves eventually.
So you kind of expect a receiver to come in and get satisfied with what happens.
They all want the ball. They all want to go for 200 yards, and it's just not realistic. So I think you got to give them reality. And I talk to them all the time about, situations that I had been through. At my senior year of college, I came back as, All-American for my junior year and big man on campus. And first 3 or 4 games, I probably got 3 catches total. And the portal didn't exist there, but had it existed, like, I would have had to have a conversation with my family. And I'm telling them guys, it's like, but anytime you stick it out, man, it's so much more worthwhile. It's so much more worth it. And not only that, but you got these type of stories that you can now give back to guys that you're going to talk to and speak to, and they can eat off of those and they can benefit from those. So, yeah, it's a daily thing, man. I love prayers. You keep us in your prayers. Thank y'all.